folks, welcome to the channel Rockin' the Country. I'm Don, where I do non-pop country music reactions. We're getting traditional country music back in the spotlight, bit by bit, molecule by molecule, but it certainly hasn't disappeared completely. But like bro country and, you know, the repeat drum loop country, that stuff is sort of like, it's popular. That's why they call it pop music. Pop is short for popular. But we're going after traditional to get this thing to make a resurgence, shall we say, to get a bit more airtime. In any case, I'm looking forward to this one for a number of reasons. Renee Mooberry made a gift to the channel for me to do this one. So thank you, Renee, for the gift and the request. And you're spot on with Tony Jackson, because I've done a couple of reactions to Tony's, and he did a George Jones tribute, the Grand Tour, and Tony, and here's where this is fun. Tony thanked me in the comments for doing the reaction to that one. And it was a long time ago. It was like 3,000 or 4,000 reactions ago. And so I'm hoping Tony will see this and give Renee a personal shout out on this one, because that's sort of like my thing, where I love seeing people get personal shout outs on the channel. And if it could happen from the artist. Now, Renee Mooberry, who made the gift to the channel, Tony, should you see this, I think you said in the comments that you're 70 years. So you've been old. So you've been on the planet a while. Now I'm 63, so I'm not far behind you, my dear. So in any case, but if Tony gave a shout out, that would be awesome for Renee, and it would just make me happy. But I also did Tony's Old Porch Swing, and that was 3,000 reactions ago or something like that. And I cannot believe how good Tony was. And some folks said that he had left country music for a little bit to go do something else. But everybody was like, good Lord, how does a talent like that move along? But he hasn't, because he's here again. So, do you remember country music? I'm guessing Tony and I are of the same stamp on this. To get country music traditional, that heartfelt soul in there, real life, just I can relate, I could feel, you give me room to think, you respect me as a listener. All of that is embodied in the structure and genre of traditional country music. It expects something of the listener, not in a negative way, but it recognizes that there's an intelligence that the listener has, that they're going to get it. And so it's presented that way. And that sort of gives this you could say a subconscious feel to traditional country, but it is there. All right. Do you remember country music?
Back on the show tonight is that tall, dark, and handsome young man from Memphis, Tennessee, Johnny Cash. Johnny's going to sing an unusual song he wrote called I Walk the Line. Thank you very much, Frank.
I remember these old vehicles, man. That's a hell of a beginning to a song.
Do you remember the first time that you heard it?
God, he sounds like George.
Playing soft and low through some old radio. Did the words that you heard heal the pain or help you through it? Here's my question. Do you remember country music?
What a voice.
Did it take you to a place like a river, a train, or prison? Even though you'd never been before, did it help you save a true love before you blew it? Let me ask you, do you remember country music?
And there's that poignant piano that I talked about.
Did it make you miss miss your hometown or your mama, or bring back old memories of good times you had. Oh, the steel guitar can get your heart right into it.
That's a fact.
Simple question, do you remember country music?
Good way of wording it. All right, it's sacrilege to stop the song at any point. I already know that, but copyright and all that. But when this thought strikes, every so often, it's just got to happen. That there are so many different ways of presenting the idea that traditional country has been pushed aside in favor of, in many ways, bubblegum stuff. There's some really good stuff coming out of Nashville. Believe me, I got into country music because I fell in love with Miranda's music, and Miranda was my favorite artist. She's still, the number of songs that she has that blast into my heart, soul, mind, and just shut me down to think and feel and be in that song is as high as any other artist. Then Dwight Yoakam and Waylon have they're right up there. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Alan Jackson's out of Nashville. I mean, heck, he lives 15 minutes south, 20 minutes south. Well, now probably an hour due to traffic on Hillsborough Pike. But he lives down in Franklin. I think he's still there. All that said, Nashville has phenomenal stuff that comes out. Every one of those artists has really good, traditionally oriented songs. I guess to appeal to the masses, you come out with what we call bro country, I guess. I don't know what the chick's version of that, cis country, I guess. I don't know, that'd be weird. But the way this song is, it's not whiny, bitchy, moany, complainy, none of that. It's, do you remember it? And that makes the point in a very respectful, creative, but powerful way. I don't know. The producer on this did a really good job, but so did the lyricist.
Am I the only one who thinks we can't lose it?
No, Tony, you're not.
Simple question, do you remember country music? All I'm asking, do you remember country music?
What a voice. Oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot believe Randy was on that. Holy cow. I don't know whose idea that was. I mean, the immediate idea would be Tony thought that one up himself, but of course you never know. I mean, you put a song out like this and it's a collaboration, not merely the songwriter, which might have been Tony, I don't know. But you got labels, producers. If Tony's married, it could have been his wife or his kid. You know, lots of people come up with ideas and you're like, oh man, could we actually get Randy to do that type of thing? But what a presentation. That's what that was right there. Because, I mean, that spoke to my soul, my heart, because you know what I've been working at for quite a while with this channel. It's not just for me to be exposed and feel and experience all the things that are spoken about and sung about and performed in traditional country that I did not grow up on. I hated country growing up because I was a rock dude. I didn't understand country. Growing up in Jersey, nobody did. Nobody really was into it for the most part. But then after you've heard every Zeppelin song and, Clapton song and The Clash and all that for the 20,000th time, you're like, yeah, I wonder what else is out there. Should I try out classical? Should I, over time, other things start to weigh on you. Then you realize that the songs you listened to when you were younger, some exposure that you had to country, like John Denver, like you didn't know really that was country. You just assumed when it was coming out of WPLJ or NEW out of New York that it was it was just appropriate. It was rock. It belonged there. It was a different type of song, but it belonged there. You didn't realize you were being exposed to country elements. You didn't realize it when you're listening to Skinner and the Allman Brothers and Marshall Tucker and the Outlaws, that you were hearing and sort of breaking down the walls to getting to accepting more of the country element. So that when you got older, life moved along. You're like, I can get into some of this. That happened to be Nashville country for me. But then I got into the traditional storylines because that's where I live. I love thinking about life, pondering life. I'm a philosopher at heart, a life coach by training and profession. But this is otherworldly. And Tony nailed it. I mean, bring it full circle. Tony just spoke directly to what I'm about on this. So, Renee, you got this one. I really hope Tony gives you a shout out. Tony, if you do, Renee's name is spelled Renee. He's got a double E on the end of it. This way she'll absolutely know it came from you to her, and that would make her weak. Mine too, just knowing that you did that for her. But all that icing on the cake to bring Randy out is like, you see the look on Tony's face too, because he knew what I and everybody else, nameless people out there, countless people would experience seeing Randy. You're like, oh my God. I think this has only happened a couple times on the channel where that is also a 10. I just did George Jones's song, I Don't Need Your Rocking Chair, courtesy of George Woodruff. And that I gave a 10 to. And this one I'm giving a 10 to. I mean, unbelievable. Thank God Tony did this, and maybe he's coming back, if you will. I don't know where he's at with his sort of, let's call it his resurgence, but let's hope he resurges. So thank you for that one, Renee. Yeehaw, I got to catch my breath and my smile. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. And like Tony said, basically, keep rocking the country.
Or help you through it.